alt warrior, I guess. You know, maybe they thought that the Shadow Priest wouldn't work out. I mean, definitely that's a scary thing when you have a hunter and a warrior on a Shadow Priest. You can do a lot of damage in a small time.
And right out of the gates, let's see how Zuniaki can handle this playing as a warrior. We've seen him on Shadow Priest a lot, but we know he also plays warrior quite well. As right out of the gates, he's going to be, charging over and getting a fear off. Looks like they might be trying to set some damage up early as he gets scattered with a ice trap under him. We see a long CC chain onto MiR right away as Zuniaki is caught in those webs. But you see already so much damage coming out of Flash Wolves.
Yeah, it looks like the Zuniaki and MiR, they're going to be going on to the Hunter. I mean, that Paladin's caught in a sheep right now. Hunter's going to have to play a little bit defensive. I mean, Warrior Mage is capable of huge damage, and this Hunter's going to be in big trouble right here. He could just die. He does get the deterrence off at 3,000 health. He's got a deep wound sticking on him. He looks like he's going to be okay, though. The Paladin is sitting another short sheep. He does not have Trinket. That was a feigned death. That's not a real death right there, but he is very low. We do see that Blessing of Protection coming out on him. That's going to stop all damage.
Yeah, it got rid of it right away as we see a spell steal onto that. So that was a great job by No Lifer right there. As Night Train still taking a lot of damage, having to deterrence once with the bop immediately after. So Prankcat didn't have any room to breathe. He already had to Trinket too. So he's basically going to be relying on that bubble in a little bit. And it looks like, there we go. Now we have the damage cooldowns coming out of Xunsha, but he's going to be peeled a bit. You know, that Avatar, that Recklessness, the on-use Trinket, but look at that. No damage dealt to MiR with that.
Yeah, nothing is coming out right now. No Lifer's doing a really great job of breaking that up. Taking a little bit of damage now, but so is Night Train. I think they're going to be starting to look on some crowd control onto Prankcat. We might see some sheeps or some cyclones on him soon.
Oh no, but here we go, the damage. Now MiR has to live through this right now. We see a good denounce onto Zuniaki, you know, that's going to cut those crits out completely. That's a huge deal every time he can do it. But we see the Heart of the Wild come out from MiR, and he is going to be using a Tranquility just a little while ago. So he was trying to pick up both Zuniaki and No Lifer, who are down to half right now. A little bit of crowd control coming out as Zuniaki is going to go ahead and Trinket as you see the Warriors just fighting each other.
Both Warriors kind of chopping each other up, both taking a lot of damage, but I don't think that they're going to be in trouble. They'll get low, but I don't think that they're going to be the main kill targets. I think they're going to be looking for No Lifer. I mean, even MiR going down a little bit, does not have a Trinket. That's a feigned death right there.
We saw an NS clone right there. It may have been on top. I'm not sure where that went, actually. There he goes. And now Night Train is in that deep.
He is in the deep. He's going to be looking at deterrence here. This Paladin is caught into a sheep.
As Night Train is cycling for 3 seconds right now. Oh, there we go. And that was a really short CC right there as Night Train. Let's see if he does have a deterrence left. I don't think he does. He's going to try to get away and back to his Paladin. This is great plays, but you know, Zuniaki is just on top of them constantly. That Wyvern Sting is helping a lot, just breaking up that offensive pressure. As you see, immediately it switches over back on a Night Train, able to get over to where the Paladin is.
Yeah, but Prankcat is in huge trouble. He's having to cast right on top of everyone. He's not able to actually pick. He had to fake that pummel there. I'm not sure if he actually did. Looks like he did. He might be able to get him topped off here, but he's having a lot of trouble. I mean, he can't even pick him up over 50% right now. A ton of damage is coming out. We have a short deep onto him. That is a full sheep right there onto Prankcat. Night Train, no other deterrences. I don't think they have another Blessing of Protection either, so he could go down here.
As there comes the orbs, you know, he's going to have tons of fingers to be able to do damage, but No Lifer taking a lot of damage. Trying to play as offensive as possible. That was a great move by Flash Wolves to force that block and stop that pressure.
Right, and Prankcat did have to use his bubble there. Rallying Cry was used. He's not going to have it. He isn't caught in a Cyclone right now. He could just go down. He's probably going to go down.
Wow, the deterrence, but right when deterrence fades, ends up dying. That was so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's and there we go. I mean, these players able to just hop onto another class and play it, and they played it well.
Yeah, Zuniaki, great multi-classer.
On his warrior.
Now, you know, there was a lot of damage onto No Lifer every time that every time you saw him go offensive, and I really like to see that out of this Flash Wolves team. You know, Xunsha was doing everything he could to keep his hunter up. You know, we saw the intervenes, we saw him heroic leaping over and tossing out the fears and the snares.
Yeah, I mean, Xunsha had a really good rallying cry there that saved them, but they had to use bubble. Yep. I mean, you know, once that Paladin runs out of cooldowns, you know, they have to sit all the CC, the full fears, sheeps, cyclones. Warrior Mage Druid has a lot of CC that's not on the same DR, so once you get caught in one thing, it can lead to another, and you will not be able to catch back up.
Yeah, and this is a tough situation. They're going to try to play it out because, you know, you are at BlizzCon. You never know what can happen. A warrior, maybe his cooldowns are almost back up and going to try for a lucky kill. But with the amount of crowd control onto a single target, Prankat's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, not going to happen. So that's going to be 1-0 for Team MiR. Pretty expected, but actually coming out with that warrior, pretty surprising to me.
It was. I think I heard them talk about it to Talbodar's team. They were asking what they were going to play against them, and the Warrior Mage did come up as an option. It was a smart move. You know, they had a lot of answers to the Warrior's damage. You know,
right.
As you know, with Zuniaki being able to sit on a target constantly, I'm actually surprised how much of uptime he had on the Hunter.
Right, yeah. He was getting CC'd a bit in the start of the match, but I think No Lifer did a really good job just controlling everything, even while they were on him. And yeah, that Warrior Mage Druid kind of pulling it out and when they needed it, and it looks like it worked out for him.
All right, so that means Flash Wolves is going to be able to pick the next map. It's hard to say what a Hunter Cleave is going to choose as their map. I mean, Runes of Lordaeron is definitely a great choice for them since they are going to be able to play the field quite well, you know, having a target in line of sight constantly and forcing that Druid to play a little bit closer to him.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of crowd control options too. Obviously, MinPoke is going to be able to have the Ice Block and a Trinket. I think the Paladin is going to have to play really offensively. If they want to score a kill, the Paladin's going to need to get in there and do some crowd controlling, you know, Zillia style, getting in their face, you know, Hodges, stuff like that. So without that, I'm not sure if they really have the crowd control to seal the deal against that team.
Yeah, it seemed like the Paladin hasn't had much time to do anything. I think the only offensive move we saw that denounce onto the Warrior, and I like that. That was a smart idea, just to break it up a little bit. And it looks like we are going to be going into Dalaran Arena was their choice. Now, you know, the Hunter could provide a lot of uptime, especially, you know, he's got with his root on his disengage, it's going to be able to they're going to be able to break up around the box play. So we are in the game right now, as we have, of course, on your top left, that is going to be the team of Flash Wolves, and they really need to bring it back.
Yeah, definitely. And like we said, I mean, this is all or nothing. You know, best of 5. If they lose this, they're out of the tournament.
Absolutely. All right. So, you know, they are down 1-0 right now to MiR. But, you know, this map, this is their choice. You know, it's their home field advantage at this point. So hopefully they can make something happen. This Paladin needs to keep up with the damage. You know, he was doing a great job in the last couple matches before this last one, of course, you know, barely letting his team live, as it is going to be 1-0 in favor of MiR right now. So let's see how the start of this goes. Zuniaki again, let's see how he can handle the start as he's looking to get over onto the enemy warrior right away.
Oh, and there's a big fear, and that looks like MinPoke is going to have to trinket that fear. He doesn't want to fall behind early. I mean, the Blade Storm's already out by the warrior, so they're going to immediately start some damage. So MinPoke does not have a trinket. Use that very early.
Yeah, Zuniaki got a fear onto Brankat right there, as he's going to have to sit the whole thing, and plus a ring onto Shunsha. So this is looking like a pretty good start for MiR, but a No Lifer, of course, is going to be taking so much damage during this whole thing, as we see a Fist of Justice onto MinPoke, who's going to... He's going to sit the whole thing, followed by his silence. Now we see Heart of the Wild popped as he's trying to heal up his teammate. You know, No Lifer is sitting pretty well right now. Surprised that he didn't take more damage.
Right. I mean, right now is where the time that they're going to be looking for that crowd control onto Prankcat. They're going to want to reverse some damage. MinPoke doing a really good job controlling Shunsha, not letting him have too much uptime on No Lifer after that. Healed him up pretty well.
All right, and here it comes. There's the orb out. Wow.
Wow.
And that's what can happen with a warrior and mage. The damage just comes out of nowhere. You saw that orb getting shot out, which meant he's going to have a lot of fingers to work with. And then he's taking so much damage during that. Wow. It was amazing. You know, you have to think, was that a feign? Because it came so
exactly.
fast.
I mean, I was looking at the Paladin point of view, ready for a crowd control on him. He was in a short deep, and all of a sudden, Night Train just got evaporated right there.
That was a lot of damage.
Definitely.
Wow.
Warrior Mage is... one of the highest burst combos in the game right now, for sure.
Absolutely. Highest damage dealt by MinPoke is 125k. That's a pretty big number.
Yeah, he definitely
that Heart of the Wild.
Those Heart of the Wilds, MinPoke is not afraid to get in there as a healer and start doing some damage. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it adds up. You know, since Heart of the Wild is such a one-shot ability where you're only really going to be able to use it once during a match because it
Right.
has that 6-minute cooldown, and you have to know exactly when the opportune time is to use it. He was just sitting a crowd control chain, and then he decided to use it. So it was interesting. It was basically like his team knew that right out of the crowd control that they were going to go offensive, and so he hit that hard.
Right.
He already had the combo points up on him.
Yeah, he's done extremely well using that ability and kind of balancing his offensive and defensive play. Normally a really defensive player, but definitely showing that he can contribute to kills. And you know, being able to pump out 100K Wrath on a burst attempt is definitely killer. That's why it was such a quick quick kill there.
It really was. And of course, we are going to be moving on to Tiger's Peak as their next choice. And I like this choice. You know, it's a big open map. They're going to be able to have a lot of uptime with that Hunter. There's not too many obstacles for him to deal with line of sight wise. And the statues themselves aren't too rough to get around as a Hunter if you're chasing a target.
Right. And I mean, you got to imagine MiR is probably feeling pretty good right now. I mean, this is it. This game, if Flash Wolves loses, they're out of this thing. So MiR has a really good chance of coming back, fighting their way through the lower bracket, and trying to prove themselves up again, maybe against Skill Cap tomorrow or whatever happens.
All right, it is going to be 2-0 in the favor of MiR, which means if Flash Wolf loses this, they are going to be out of the tournament. MiR really needs this win to stay alive. So we have Sunshine is trying to find his target and having some problems getting around that pillar right there, as he is going to charge over and try to get onto Zuniaki right away, but he's going to be immediately cycloned. That stops a lot of that initial pressure. Of course, Night Train not even engaging quite yet, just line of sight.
You got to imagine he's scared after that last game.
Absolutely, as we see some crowd control into Prankat. You know, he already has that Divine Protection up as he's going to sprint. Oh, look at that. The timers off of Sunshot, which are immediately disarmed. As you see the avatar, the recklessness, everything.
That was a fear onto MinPoke, caught into a silencing shot. He did trinket that fear. Now he's into a scatter shot, but no lifer. He's got the Iron Bark up. I think he's going to be okay through these cooldowns. You know, this is a lot of their early offensive pressure is down as you see double trinket onto Night Train as he's trying to struggle to get to his target, and he doesn't have any damage out right now. And there he goes. Now he's going to start connecting on his target, but again, having to play extremely defensive because Prankat right now was in a deep, followed by a blanket silence out of that as he hasn't had to bubble yet. This is really good, actually. Yeah, that's actually good cooldown usage by him. Rallying Cry used fairly early there. Not sure if that was the best there, but possibly saved him for having a shield.
Absolutely. We see Prankat trying to keep his team up, playing that LOS game with the gazebo area as he gets Heroic Leap followed by a Fear, which means they are going to be trying to go onto Night Train some more. We see some crowd control onto Sunshot right there as Prankat is going to eat the next deep. It's going to be into a ring out of that too. He does have a trinket, which he is going to use, but Night Train is in so much trouble. Look at that huge
disengages back up top. Catches the ring, but it looks like he's going to be okay. Possibly, he might not be able to get topped up here.
Oh, and look at that. There goes the deterrence as that's going to fade as he's still on his target, which is going to be No Lifer, who's also down really low, and those disengagements
Another disengage
great.
right up top. Now we know why he picked it, but he's still in big trouble, and he's just going to go down.
Wow.
Warrior Mage damage, so unpredictable. Yeah. The late recklessness with the trinkets by Zuniaki there.
Yep.
Very good on conserving those cooldowns. Didn't use them right away and was able to score the kill there.
Yeah, and Zuniaki doing a great job of being extremely mobile and choosing, you know, the great time to Heroic Leap over and fear the target as it is going to round out the series 3-0. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and that's it, unfortunately, for Flash Wolves. They're going to be out of the tournament, but MiR advancing up, coming through the lower brackets.
Yeah, and that actually concludes our Group A stage.
It does.
Yeah, those were exciting matches. You know, we definitely saw that amazing